Q&A. And if you're tired, overworked, drained, I've got something for you. My name is Coach Sheree, and what I do is I help high-functioning women get laser focused in people pleasing and start setting boundaries so you can get your time back, your energy back, girl. You can get your money back and your income up. And on today's Q&A, we have a really great question from a very powerful woman. And here's what she says. Coach Sheree, I'm the dependable one at work. Uh-oh, here we go. You dependable. Here we go. The fixer, the organizer, the can you handle this woman. But I'm now drowning in tasks that are mine, and my own goals are collecting dust. Now, you know when stuff is collecting dust in your house that there is something wrong with your house, but we are going to clean it up. Coach Sheree, I'm scared that if I say no, I'll look uncooperative or risk my reputation, and no one wants to risk their reputation. How do I protect my energy without sabotaging my success? The very first line in your question today is incredible. You said, I'm the dependable one at work. And when I read this, I thought to myself, my goodness, everybody wants to be dependable. Nobody wants to be that person that no one can rely on. We can't trust you. You're always late. No one believes what you say. Everybody wants to be dependable. But what I see in this very first line is you've defined what dependable is. So you don't have a dependable problem. You have an identity problem. Because what you have done is you have mistaken being the dependable one for being the overworked one. I say in life that our life is a mirror. Your friends, the people that you hang around with, the way people treat you, your environment, it tells you who you think you are. When I read and I say my confessions, they tell me who I am. But the way people treat me, the people who are around me, they tell me who I think I am. So when you have an identity wrong, guess what, girl? You are going to get your entire life wrong. So you have to change your identity from being the dependable person to being a very peaceful person. Because this is what boundaries is all about. I always tell my students in the power community that boundaries are not about us keeping people out. They are about keeping our peace in. So what I want you to do is change your identity. You are not dependable, right? You are peaceful. Here's the second thing that you said. You said, I'm scared that if I say no, I'll look uncooperative or risk my reputation. Now notice what you said. You said, I'm scared that if I say no. Listen, you said if you say no, which means you haven't said no. And if you haven't said no, then guess what that means? You have sabotaged your soul with a story that is keeping you stuck. Oh, I didn't even plan on saying that. Let me say that again. You said you said if I say no, which means you haven't said no, which means you are sabotaging your soul with a story that is keeping you stuck. You haven't even given yourself an opportunity to use what one of my power community members said, a complete sentence, which is the word no. Anytime a woman fears saying no, nothing happens in a vacuum. So maybe you said no in the past with another job and it caused you a reputation. Maybe you couldn't say no with parents before and that led to some kind of punishment. Maybe you were in a relationship and you said no and somebody told you that you were selfish. So nothing in life happens it's a vacuum in life. Nothing happens in isolation. So this story has been on repeat with you not saying no. What I would advise you to do is if you were in the power community is I would have you go through the free module that I have online about fear. Because what fear does is fear can get us to think failure instead of success. But this is a story. So you simply have to change the story to not if I say no, okay, that's a story. Change it to what are the possibilities when I say no? Maybe I'm going to get fired. Not more than likely, because according to this, You're drowning in your tasks that are not even your own. And you can say, what happens if somebody gets mad? And you can plan. So we don't want to make up stories about saying no. We want to make plans. We might want to make plans for what happens when we say no. And then here's what you said. You said, how do I protect my energy without sabotaging my success? Facts. I'm assuming they're facts. You're already sabotaging your success. Because you want to know, hey, how can I protect my energy? I don't want to sabotage my success. But according to this, you're already sabotaging it. Because you are drowning in tasks that have nothing to do with you. You are not doing the tasks that were assigned to you. You are doing the tasks that maybe you said you were going to do because you simply didn't want to say no. And your own goals are collecting dust, again, while you're managing other people's issues and you're not managing your own. I think I have other questions for you, such as, what happens if you continue to put off your tasks? Think about it. What happens in the next 2 years? Maybe nothing. What happens in the next 10 years? What happens in the next 12 years? You know, so many women, they live their life from obligation and not overflow. But your obligation, it's not built on truth. It's built on story. So if you were my client, what I would tell you was, well, first of all, you would know your purpose. You would understand your purpose. You'd be crystal clear on your vision, and you would not be in this cycle of toxic relationship patterns that are leading you to this distress. When a woman knows her purpose, she understands what she needs to say no to, okay? No is what's not on your list, okay? And you understand what you need to say yes to. Yes is what is on your list. And I take women through my focus method, which gets them focused, and it forces them to create boundaries so they can achieve their goals. Because so many of us, we don't have an energy issue. I'm drowning. I'm the dependable one. These things aren't mine. This is drowning language, which means you're probably tired. You're probably wearing burnout like a badge. You don't have an energy issue. You are mismanaging your energy, and that's the issue. And I used to deal with this where I would overfunction. I would say yes to too many requests that had nothing to do with me. And you know what happened? I wasn't this confident, this reliable, this capable, this powerful, this incredible. I wasn't this powerful woman, and I would have never began speaking had I not began to say the word no. But most women, they have been trained to say yes because they have what I call nice girl syndrome, where I always say being nice is really being manipulative because you don't really want to come out and say no because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but yet you're drowning in your own. So this is my advice to you today is, number one, let's just review it, girlfriend, sister, my queen, and all of my queens out there in the power community. This is what we would tell you. Number one is, girl, you got to change your identity. You're not dependable. You're overworked. And overworked women rarely get things done. Nobody knows about the overworked woman, but we do know about the powerful woman. And powerful women aren't drained of power. Come on, they are empowered within themselves, and so they help other people. Number two, your story, it sucks. Generally speaking, when a woman is stuck, there are 3 things that she needs to change. Number one is her story, because the story sucks. Your story is that you will be viewed as uncooperative if you say no, but you haven't said no. So you need to understand, hey, what is it that are my responsibilities and what is it that are their responsibilities? What is it that keeps you saying yes, and what are the consequences if you continue to say yes? And then number 3, Sheree, how do I not sabotage my success? You're already sabotaging your success because you are not getting your own goals done. And if you were my client, which you're not yet, but you would know your purpose, and understanding your purpose, it helps you to stay focused. I always say With a pen like this, a pen you can write with it. That's the intention for it. But what I could do is I could throw this pen. I could stab myself with this pen. And the point is that when you don't know the intention for a thing, girl, you'll misuse the thing. And you are misusing your life for other people and staying stuck. This is the Power Q&A. So what I want you to do, ladies, is if you're watching this, you need to click the link below. You need to join the Power community. It is for women who are just like you. It is not a whining group, a praying group, a wishing group, a hoping group. No, it is a coaching space for growth-minded women who say, listen, I'm in my 30s, my 40s, my 20s, my 50s, my 60s, but I refuse to spend another month staying stuck. And I'm going to give you the exact tactics, strategy, tools, and the blueprint that I use that helped me to go from not speaking up to now speaking on stages, to not being coached to now coaching women, to not knowing my space and now taking up my space. And I'm going to help you to begin to say no to the wrong thing, yes to the right thing, so you can be a confident woman and you can get power back in your life. So click the link below. And ladies, I hope to see you in the Power community. I'll see you soon. And remember, nothing happens until you do. So lights off me, lights back on you. It's your turn to walk in power, girl. Lights, camera, action, and I will see you soon. Bye.